pizzicato can sound a bit like a mousetrap if one is not careful. But there's ways to make it sound nice. For starters, it depends when you're playing it. Sometimes you can play it without the bow, which is so much easier. But a lot of the time, you're going to have to be playing something arco, and then suddenly you have to go to pizzicato. So first of all, bear in mind, you don't need to actually change your bow hold when you're doing pizzicato. All you need to do is stick out your middle finger and use your middle finger because it's fatter than your first finger. And so it's got more flesh on, so you're less likely to get blisters, hurt less, and sounds nicer. So you're going to stick your middle finger out, maybe tilt your wrist slightly up so that your bow gets out of the way. But you're basically just doing that. Practice doing that, yeah? Practice thinking, bow, pits. So you get used to swapping between the two and not feeling a bit wobbly. Do you feel wobbly when you swap, Jo?
I do, but I have to say I use my first finger.
And do you get a sore? Do you get blisters? No. She's tough as nails.
No.
What can I say?
I find it easier to move my first finger. Maybe just my hand's different to yours, but I like to use my first finger and it operates independently of my hand. So I like to think of this rather than using my whole arm, because then I feel wobbly.
Yes.
So, and your middle finger is doing that beautifully. Yeah.
Getting it to move independently is absolutely the way. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the least amount of energy you can use is the best.
Absolutely.
I'm essentially quite a lazy person, and I think
violinists are very lazy.
Very.
The best violinists are the laziest, I think.
Yes, really. You've got to be energy efficient.
That's right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So you can hold on to the fingerboard with your thumb. You can stick it there and hold on. This tends to be a very specific type of music, and perhaps when beginners are starting and they want that bit of stability. I have to say, I don't ever hold on anymore. I like to just be basically ready to go back to arco at any point. Do you hold on to the corner?
It depends, because some pieces that I play, you put your bow down, and
that's great.
Whole piece is pizzicato, and then yes, absolutely, we hold on, and then you can use. I think you've got a special skill of using more than one finger, not just the middle finger or the first finger, but using a number of fingers. But pizzicato is something that we should practice.
Don't get caught short.
No, exactly.
This is definitely worth some time. So you have to think about what kind of sound you have for a particular piece. Bartók invented the Bartók pits, which is absolutely fantastic. It's like you're snapping a piece of elastic really, really hard. And what you want to do is get right under the string there, and you're pulling up, and you're letting the string snap against the fingerboard. So like that. I love it.
Excellent. But sometimes that happens accidentally. Sometimes we just want a beautiful, sound, and we get the fleshy part of the finger, not the hard nail bit, but the fleshy part, get right underneath, up the fingerboard, and then just let it ring like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting that diagonal movement sort of down and away from yourself like that definitely makes a nicer
definitely
sound.
On the fingerboard, up the fingerboard, because if you're down here, it's a very, very strident, mean sound, isn't it?
And it hurts.
Yeah. And then don't forget, we can also do pizzicato with vibrato to make it a little bit softer and more beautiful sound.
Yeah. You've also got pizzicato chords, so you can be doing, when you're doing a strumming effect there, you can still be going away from yourself as you go across. So you're going across, but then also slightly diagonally. So if you were going completely this way, you'll probably get a bit more of a twang on the E string. Mm-hmm. Yeah, perhaps not quite as nice, but it's personal taste, to be honest. Have an experiment privately, in your practice room. Work it out. What feels nice for you? What can you make an association between what you're hearing and what you're feeling? So if it's feeling lovely and soft and gentle, and you've got vibrato going, it's probably going to sound rounder and warmer, but it's not always appropriate. That depends what piece you're playing. Have an experiment. It's great fun.